Fuck this.
And it's time for all the women in America and all the men that love women and all the gay people and all the people of color that we've all fought for to fight for us now.
And fuck this.
When we're talking about diversity, you do it in the casting of the film, not in the casting of the show.
Whew.
And this.
And after all, we're all from Africa originally.
And this. And this. With so many allies everywhere, why does this shit just keep happening over and over again? Right now, we don't need allies. We need you to be an accomplice, and that means helping us commit a crime. We're stealing our dignity back from institutions that think we're less worthy of safety, equality, and even life itself. So do you support us? Do you support us enough to drive the getaway car? Are you willing to go to jail? Think about it. If I reshare a moving post on Facebook, what happens? Will our awareness alone of police brutality stop a black person from being shot by the police? Does knowing about Islamophobia stop hate crimes against Muslims? Did our reading and sharing think pieces about Standing Rock protect it from Trump's executive order? No. Our allyship with marginalized people just makes us feel better. It's a way that we broadcast our own politics. Basically, our allyship is really just a kind of self-help. Here's a quote I like. Everyone calls himself an ally until it's time to do real ally shit. And when you put it like that, you kind of realize your allyship is really all about you. When I say we need accomplices or co-conspirators in crime, I'm really not using a metaphor. I actually mean it literally. Our society literally turns marginalized people into criminals even before they have the chance to break the law. I mean, take a look around. Black men, women, kids, they're assumed to be criminals when they walk down the street, when they drive to work, or when they play in the park. Trans people are legally banned from using the bathroom with dignity in North Carolina. Muslims are assumed to be criminal terrorists and have their freedom of movement, their homes, their private correspondence, and even their religious observance monitored by the state.
Before any investigation goes on after a shooting or any kind of attack, if the name sounds Muslim, it's a suspected terrorist attack.
And we continue to hear people refer to undocumented immigrants and refugees as illegals, as if their very existence as human beings in this world is a criminal act.
What you cannot do is to label a person illegal. And the reason why I say this is not because I learned it from some radical Latino or Latina studies professor. I learned it from Elie Wiesel, who survived the Holocaust, who said, you know what? The first thing they did was that they declared the Jews to be an illegal people. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're talking about at this point. This is real fear.
Tucker, do you think I came to this country so you can beat me up and call me illegal and criminal on national television? Being here without documentation and authorization is a civil offense and not a criminal.
So this is definitely not a metaphor. This is quite literally America, where we're turned into criminals by white supremacy, patriarchy, hypernationalism, and this new regime codifies these imaginary crimes into real laws and real policy. So what? What are we supposed to do then if being aware and compassionate just isn't enough? Well, I'm glad you asked. The circumstances of your birth may never be seen as a crime, but that doesn't stop you from fighting with those whose identity and activism are criminalized every day. And when my existence itself is criminalized, I need you to literally commit crimes to intervene. So put your body in the way of rubber bullets and pepper spray at demonstrations for Black lives, for immigrants and refugees at airports, and at Standing Rock. That might literally mean trespassing. Refuse to cooperate or even confuse law enforcement or immigration officials who are investigating undocumented immigrants and rounding them up to be deported. Disobey orders to monitor or track Muslims if you are a civil servant or a private contractor. Protect or leak data that is dangerous to a regime that dehumanizes human lives. So in a heist, we all contribute different skills in the service of accomplishing our mission, and we have different access to different resources. You have your privilege, so they automatically assume that you're an insider. We need you to exploit that. This is an inside job. Change won't come from general agreement. It will come from targeted action and discomfort, and deep conversations with people who have very different experiences from your own. Ally is a verb. It's not something you can claim from afar, and it doesn't come from going to one march every year. I need you to fight with me. I need you as my accomplice. Are you ready? Share this with anyone who's ready to resist. This matters.